Dad was born in a little place called Limerick, which is near Crookwell in New South Wales, on the 18th of October 1888, and he grew up on a farm, and he dug potatoes every morning when in season, then off to school, walked to school 2 miles, and then back in the afternoon and milked the cows before he went to bed. He was married in 1913. They come back to Woonona and lived in Little Street, where he opened a workshop in the shed at the back of the property, and he repaired motorbikes and push bikes. Then after a few years it got too busy for him, so he decided to go further up the hill opposite the Bulli Hotel.
When I was 8 years old, I had an old push bike with a broken frame. Dad said, go and get it and take it round to Ivo Bunker's, he'll fix it. I said, oh, I'll have a look at it, I'll fix that for you. And he gave me a pair of dark glasses to put on, so I wouldn't get a flash from the welder. And within half an hour he had the job done. And from memory it cost me 1 shilling, so that was all.
One of their customers wanted a confectionery van built, so he built that. And then when the council saw that, they come and asked him would he build a couple of sanitary vans to replace the horse and cart. He also saw a need for a bus run. In the early 20s, Bulli Pass was becoming so popular that many cars were coming down and up and breaking down, and so he decided to buy a block of land on the corner of Bulli Pass and built a tin shed there. He bought a Hudson ready-built home, like a kit, and he erected that himself up behind the garage. When I was young, I'd always be down the garage, of course, and they'd come in and they'd say, what's wrong with my car? And I'd say, oh, you've got a big end gone. And they would laugh at me to say, well, what, a kid like that, what would they know? He was very funny, he was always telling jokes. And somebody dared him to make 2 bob coins.
Had a furnace, and he used to melt 2 different types of metal to make the 2 bob. He had a cast for that, and he'd just put it in and press it while the metal was hot, let it cool, and he had to come 2 bob.
The police come down and arrested him for counterfeiting. They dismissed the case because there was, seeing as he had never sold them, and there was more silver content in them than what there was in the original coin.
He had a great sense of humour, you know, and I've seen him deliberately be smoking a cigarette and throw it in the petrol, and the people around him would make a quick dash away because it was going to explode. Ivo knew it wouldn't.
He also made himself false teeth out of aluminium. He wore these teeth for years, and when he wore one down, he'd make another set. And then he bought an organ, a piano. He had 3 violins, a clarinet, a piccolo, a Jew's harp. We all learnt musical instruments. Mum used to play the piano and sing, and Dad would play the violin. Never had a lesson in his life, and he could play by ear.
They were well known in the district, him and his family, because they were musically minded, and they had their own orchestra in their own home, and they used to entertain in their own home. It was quite a feat.
If anybody had any ulcers or anything like that, they used to come to him, and he used to get these big lily leaves and apply it onto the wound. And we had a friend across the road who was named Foreman. He chopped the top of his finger off, and he come flying over to Dad. So Dad put it back and stitched it around, and he still had it when he died, but it was a bit crooked. Then he decided that it was time to build a decent garage. Behind the tin garage that he had, he dug out all the clay.
He made a machine to make his own bricks.
He built a kiln and he fired them, and then set about building the garage, he pulled all the tin walls down, and everybody said, "Oh, Ivo Bunker's built a garage in a day," and because they hadn't seen the work that was going on behind the tin shed.
One of the things that he invented was the cord that you drove over a cord when you drove in for petrol, and rang a bell in the establishment to let the man inside know there was a car out the front. He invented that. When you do know him, you can realise nothing was impossible. And everyone knew him and loved him, you know, because he was part of society. There was no airs and graces about him, and he was very highly thought of and admired.
I've never seen Dad in a suit, you know, always overalls.
He was a real lovable character, he really was.